Hey, I'm Keith. My little boy has hounded me nonstop about him wanting to be Mr. Freeze. He says he wants to be the Mr. Freeze from the Batman Arkham series video game. I have been working on this. I want to give you guys a couple quick tips and tricks. Maybe you can try to make something similar. It was our inspiration. I'm not going to say it looks exactly like it, but I'll show you what we're looking to make. There are several things we used to bring this project to life. One of them was plastic. You will find you will use quite a bit of it if you try to do it the way we did. Works pretty good. You can pick it up for about $15 a sheet from a company called E-Plastics. You'll basically need that and a heat gun, a little bit of wood to make a couple molds, and you'll be pretty much ready to go. As you're building this stuff, one thing you're going to do is end up with a lot of scrap. You're going to have a lot of scrap plastic left over. Little pieces like little circles like this or chunks like this. A lot of the stuff you'll still be able to use. You can just use a pair of tin snips, something like that. That cuts it pretty good. And you can have little parts that you might need. Another good thing that you can do with ABS plastic, and it's got to be ABS plastic, is you can make an adhesive with it. And that's what I've done with this costume that I'm making. There's not a single screw in it. It's all held together with ABS plastic and ABS plastic only. The trick to it, take ABS plastic and mix it with a little MEK, methyl ethyl ketone. You can also find this in the paint supply area at your Lowe's or Home Depot, any hardware store. They typically have it. Napa, they may even carry it as well. But if you take little pieces of this, get the tin snips and cut it into little pieces about that big or so, and drop it in a glass jar. Pour a little methyl ethyl ketone over top of it, maybe 2 to 3 capfuls. Let it sit overnight, maybe even stir it or something, and the next day you'll probably end up with a little slurry. The thicker the better. It's easier to kind of spread on your costume. You can use any kind of like a paintbrush, anything like that to spread it around, and you might need to use some sort of clamp to hold it in place until it dries, until it cures. Another really cool thing we got was this stuff called EL wire. You can get a 9-foot piece of it with a battery pack online for probably less than 10 bucks. We shopped at a website called Geek. I think if you go to the Android market and type in Geek, you'll find the Geek marketplace. And I think we paid $6 for these, and we bought a handful of them. We may have bought maybe 5 of them. If you've never seen them before, they're really neat. On our Mr. Freeze character, we needed to make an acrylic helmet. We made it using a piece of plexiglass that we picked up from Lowe's. I'll show you a neat way that you can get this bulb look on the helmet. It's pretty easy. This is an oak frame that I put together. Nothing real complex about it. It's just some cheap boards you can get at Lowe's. We did put a couple brackets in it just to stiffen it up. Put a hinge on it, and the way you do this is you open this up. You lay a piece of acrylic, a piece of plexiglass in here, in this area right here. I also put this seal on it. I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it does help hold it in place. But you'll lay your plexiglass in here. You'll shut it back. I actually have wing nuts that tighten all this down. Once you put the wing nuts back in it, what you're going to end up doing then is you'll take this thing and you'll put it in your oven. You can put it in your oven in your house. Set your oven on about 350 degrees. Keep in mind, this frame right now, pretend like it's got a piece of plexiglass in it. You'll take it, you'll put it in your oven, 350 degrees, let it sit in there for maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Turn your oven light on. You'll actually start to watch the plexiglass start to sag in the center. Once it sags in the center, it's about maybe 30 seconds to a minute from being ready to come out. You may find another way to do this. This is the way we did it, and I'm open to suggestions. If you've got another way that you can do it, awesome. This worked for me. After you pull this thing out of the oven, like I said, it's been in for probably 7-8 minutes, something like that. It'll be malleable for a couple seconds. All right. What we did, we took a motorcycle helmet. This is an old motorcycle helmet we used. Okay. And what we ended up doing was we took the plastic, the piece of plexiglass, as fast as we could and held it against this. And once we did this, we were able to get the plexiglass to deform, and it gave us a really cool bulbed globe type shape. After some cutting, we ended up with this. If you can see it. Not perfect, but it'll work. It was my first attempt and my last attempt. I'm sure if I did it again, I probably could have got it a little bit better. But it's a one-time use Halloween costume. We figure it'll probably be good enough. You'll need to do some trimming once you get the bulb shape, because you got to cut away the excess plastic. Once you got the plastic cut out, it's ready for your costume. We made ours with a couple screw holes, which maybe you can see right there. And that way we can make it pivot. So that way he could take his helmet and wear it like this, and then fold it up like that when he wants to talk, or if in case it gets fogged up or anything on the inside. This overall look that you're seeing so far. And like I said, I will repurpose about anything. We took the trash off the other day, and I found a vacuum cleaner tube. We found a vacuum cleaner tube at the landfill, and I used a pair of tin snips and cut it down its side, and then attached it to his costume like this with zip ties, just to give it a cool look. And I'm still gluing this thing together right now, but and I've got some other things on it. I've made different things on it using black ABS pipe, just like PVC pipe like you'd have for plumbing. This is black pipe. It's made out of ABS, and that's what you're seeing here. We attach the EL wires here, 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 as well as here, and a couple places on the back. Believe it or not, this is actually weed eater string. It works pretty good too. Obviously it doesn't light up, but it's giving us the look that we're looking for. These circles you see on top here, they're actually the same thing. They're just larger ABS pipes that I put on a miter saw, and I chopped them thin to put on top. And that's pretty much what you're looking at so far. In the front, just to give it the look that I was kind of looking for, I've got these plastic pieces in the top that are supposed to look like the lights on top of Mr. Freeze. Just to give us the look that we were looking for, I got these plastic pieces here and here that kind of look like the ones on top of Mr. Freeze's costume. You can see what I'm talking about right here. And what they are, I actually was going to try to backlight them, but I'm kind of feel rushed for time, so I haven't done it. But what they actually are the little lights like you see on the checkout line at Lowe's. They're typically this long, and they light up blue. But and that's actually what I was going to originally do, was try to do it that way, and I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do it. I may backlight it, but it may not. I don't know yet. Anyway, so I put one there and there. I thought they looked pretty cool. Even if they don't necessarily light up, at least they give us the look that we're looking for. Alright, yesterday in the mail, I got this. This is carbon fiber graphic. I may have already showed you this, I'm not sure. But anyway, to hide all the imperfections in this costume, I'm going to use this right here to cover up all the little plastic parts, or at least the majority of them anyway. You'll see. This is where I'm at so far with the costume. Get over here, here's this place. And I'm using the carbon fiber to hide it. Got a couple wrinkles in it, not too concerned with that, but a good way to get this stuff to spread around is by using a heat gun. Have it at its lowest setting, and this stuff will stretch enough to cover everything up. I'm pretty satisfied with this. I think this looks pretty cool. Another thing that I got was these knee pads. You can get these on eBay for about 15 bucks, something like that. And they articulate, so they'll bend with his knee. I'm also going to cover these with some blue lights and some carbon fiber just to dress them up a little bit. One other thing I'm going to do is I got this Nerf gun, and I'm going to take this Nerf gun and I'm going to cover all the yellow parts with some of that carbon fiber graphic vinyl sticker stuff. And I thought that would give a cool Mr. Freeze look. After I do that, I may take some of that blue EL wire and outline the seam here just to give it a cool look. I thought it would look very Mr. Freeze-like with that on there. So we'll see how that does. So, painted the gun yesterday, and I covered the top of it with the carbon fiber. I don't know if you can see it. and I painted it with this rubber type paint, so it should be able to peel off if we actually needed to, but I'm really not too worried about it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to run that blue EL wire down the seams to see how that looks. I thought that was pretty cool. They can kind of go together. Let's see how it looks.